New question. A stockist wants to make some profit by selling sugar. He contemplates various methods. Which of the following would maximize his profit? Alright, so here there are four options available to us and we will have to calculate the profit and mark the option which is having the maximum profit. Initially we are given that he sells sugar at 10% profit. Okay, so this is okay. Now calculating for option number 2. Let us assume that the cost price per kg sugar is 100 rupees. Now we are given that, now this is for 1 kg. He uses 900 gram weight instead of 1 kg. So he is selling 900 grams at rupees 100. So the selling price for him is going to be, the cost price for this 900 grams is nothing but, as we all know that for 100 rupees he is having 1 kg or 1000 grams. So the cost price for 900 grams is nothing but 90 rupees. So the profit percentage in this scenario will be 100 minus 90 upon 90 multiplied by 100. This is the profit divided by the cost price of 900 grams. So this is nothing but 11.11%. This is our case 2. Now for case 3, the calculations will be like this. He mixes 10% impurities in the sugar and selling the sugar at the cost price. Now we know that he adds 10% impurity, then his cost price for 1 kg with impurities will be 100 upon 1100 multiplying this by 1000. This is the reduction, or this 100 grams or 10% impurities have zero cost. So this is going to give my new cost price, which is nothing but 90.90. Over here, as we know that our cost price was 90 in case number 1, and in case number 2 my cost price is 90.90. So without solving even further, I surely know that in case number 2 is more profitable than case number 3. But leave it, we will calculate and I will show it to you that in this case the profit percent is lesser than the case number 2. My profit in this scenario is going to be 100 minus 90.90 upon 90.90 multiplying this by 100, which is equal to 10.01%. Now solving for case number 4, wherein we are given that he increases the price by 5%, reduces the weight by 5%. So weight reduction of 5%. He is going to sell 1 kg, saying that he is selling 1 kg and he is going to sell only 950 grams. And we are given that he increases the price by 5%. So price increment, so the selling price for 1 kg will be 105 rupees. So these are the two things that he is going to do. So the cost price for 950 grams is going to be 95 rupees. This is CP for 950 grams, and he is going to sell this 950 grams, saying that this is 1 kg at 105 rupees. So the profit percentage will be 105 minus 95 upon 95 multiplied by 100, and this turns out to be 10.5%. And as you can see, in this case there is a 10% profit, over here there is 11.11% profit, over here there is 10.01% profit, and over here there is 10.5% profit. So I will mark option number 2, which is the most profitable in this scenario. Next question. We are given that Mr. Davids manufactures and sells a single product in a niche market. The selling price of each unit is 30 rupees. Okay, so we are given the selling price Now on the other hand, the cost in rupees for producing X units is given as a function of X. So this is f of X. This is equal to our cost per unit. Alright, we are given that B and C are some constants. Mr. David noticed that doubling the daily production from 20 to 40 increases the production cost by 66 2/3 of a percentage. Okay. However, an increase in daily production from 40 to 60 units results in increase of only 50% of the daily production cost. Assume demand is unlimited and Mr. David can sell as much he can produce. His objective is to maximize the profit. Okay. Now, in this type of questions, there are two methods. Method number one, we will substitute the values which are given, and in method number two, we will use the method of differentiation. This is typically for the engineers, those who know how to differentiate a function and get the maxima of a function by putting f dash x equals to 0 and finding f double dash x is less than 0 and substituting the value of x in f of x. For the non-engineers, please stick to this method rather than learning a new method, though this method is going to give you answers faster than this method, but I will suggest that you make your concepts clear in this method first and then try your hands on this method. So let us go with the first method, which is substituting the values. We are given that when the production increases from 20 to 40, the daily production cost increases by 66 2/3 of a percentage. Now, cost for 20 units is nothing but 240. So let me give this as f of 20 plus 20x plus 400c. So this is my cost for 20 units. Now cost for 40 units is nothing but 240 plus 40x plus c multiplied by 40 square, that is 1600c. Now we are given that the difference between them, the percentage difference in the cost, is nothing but 66 2/3 percentage, that is equal to, in terms of fraction, 2/3. We are clear till now? Now writing this equation, f of 40 minus f of 20 upon f of 20 is nothing but 66 2/3 percentage, or this is equal to 2/3. Now as we know that in this equation the unknown is x and the right RHS is constant, so on equating this I am going to get the value of x. Now this is our equation number 1. Now similarly, let me erase this side. We are given that when the unit increases from 40 to 60, the increase is only 50% of the daily production cost. So let me calculate f of 60, which is equal to 240 plus b multiplied by 60 plus c multiplied by 60 square. And we know that f of 60 minus f of 40 upon f of 40 is equal to 50%, that is equal to 1 by 2. This is 50 by 100. This comes because 50% is nothing but 50 by 100 or 1 by 2. Now I have two equations and my unknowns in this equation are nothing but b and c. Over here this is not x, sorry, this is b, this is also b, my bad. Now two equations, two unknowns, we can solve this equation. let me write the equations for you. The equation number 1 can be rewritten as, on solving this equation rather, this is my f of 20, this is my f of 40. Substituting these values over here and equating it with 2/3, I'm going to get C equals to 1 by 10 and B is equal to 10. I hope this is clear, because in these equations there are two unknowns B and C and we have two equations. After solving I am getting C equals to 110 and B equals to 10. So my cost C of X for producing X units after substituting the values of B and C in that equation is that will remain as 240 plus 10x plus x square by 10. Now we are given with options A, B, C and D. After substituting the values of x in this equation, I am going to get the value of, this is the cost, and my profit will be nothing but the number of units, that is 30x minus the cost, this is cost, minus C of X. So this will be 240 plus 30x minus 10x is, this will be 20x minus x square by 10 plus 240. Now substituting the value of options A, B, C and D, we will find this is our profit. Profit will be maximum for A equals to 100. Now using the technique of differentiation, how do solve? Even the differentiation method, the process remains the same till I find out the values of B and C. That is, I am going to get the equation 140C plus B is equal to 24. This is my equation number 1, which comes from the previously solved f of 40 minus f of 20 upon f of 20 is nothing but equal to 2 by 3. After substituting the values, I am going to get this equation, and the second equation which I am going to get is nothing but 2400C is equal to 240, or my C equals to 110. This equation comes from this, which we have discussed earlier. This is equal to 50%. From this I am going to get this. Substituting the value of C over here, I am going to get my B equals to 10. So I am left with my cost equation which we found earlier, and this is known to us. Profit is nothing but the total sales minus cost. Total sales is, product is sold at 30 rupees per unit, so 30x minus the cost function, that is C of X, and I am left with the profit function, that is x square by 10 plus 20x minus 240. Now rather than substituting the options one by one, we can use the process of differentiation. So on differentiating, I am going to get this equation as minus 2x upon 10 plus 20 is equal to 0, or x is equal to 100. So I get the option directly from this method, and I can calculate the maximum daily profit after substituting x equals to 100 in this profit equation, which is equal to 760 rupees. I hope both the processes are clear to you. More or less both of the processes are similar until this point. Only for those who do not know the differentiation, you will have to substitute options one by one in this profit function. Proceeding to the next question, over here we are given that two artists are there and they sell their spare piano. After they sold the instruments, they told each other that their profit percentage and realized that they both had made a profit of 40%. Okay, so we are talking in terms of percentage. However, in reality, one violinist had calculated profit percentage on the cost price, so he did his process properly. On the other hand, the other artist had calculated his profit percentage on the selling price. So this is the classic mistakes which student also do, and this was performed by the another artist over here. It turned out that the difference between the profits earned by them was 800 rupees. What was the selling price if both the pianos were sold at same price? Okay, now let me assume that the selling price of piano is X rupees. Now initially we are given that in scenario number 1 we are given that the profit percentage which was calculated, it was calculated correctly by taking the base as cost price, and we know that the profit percentage was equal to 40. Alright, so substituting the values, as we have assumed that the selling price of the piano is X. Now this is scenario number 1, and we also know that the cost price is equal to selling price multiplied by 100 upon percentage profit plus 100. Now substituting the values in this equation, I'm going to get the cost price. So the cost price will be, as we have assumed that selling price is X, multiplying this by 100, we know that profit percentage is 40 plus 100. So my cost price is nothing but 5 by 7x. This is scenario number 1. So the profit in this scenario is selling price minus the cost price, that is equal to x minus 5 by 7x, which is equal to 2 by 7x. I hope the first scenario is clear to all of you. Now in scenario number 2, we are given that the profit percentage which was calculated is calculated in terms of selling price. This equation is written after reshuffling of the terms. Here we were given that selling price minus cost price, this is profit, but this is calculated on the selling price. Multiplying this by 100, after reshuffling, what I am going to get, my cost price is nothing but selling price multiplied by 1 minus profit percentage upon 100. So substituting the values, selling price is X minus 40% upon 100. So my X becomes 3x by 5, and my profit will be, in this case, the same, selling price minus the cost price, that is X minus 3 by 5x, that is equal to 2 by 5x. As we know that 2 by 5x is greater than 2 by 7x, and we are given that the difference in the profit between them is equal to 800. So 2 by 5x minus 2 by 7 of x is equal to 800, and this gives me my x equals to, so the x is equal to 7,000. Hence the selling price which we assumed x is equal to 7,000 rupees. I hope the concept is clear. We were initially given the profit percentage for case number 1 and profit percentage for case number 2. In case number 1, the artist calculated the profit percent with taking the base as cost price and taking the base as selling price. So with this video ends. I hope the advanced profit lecture is also clear to all of you. Thank you.